Good morning, team. Thank you so much for jumping on this call today. Episode 197 of my Monday Morning Pep Talk. Not all contacts are created equal. We're going to get into some details on how to further take that big list that you have and start narrowing it down into those contacts that really truly are going to drive your business. But before we go there, I want to remind you of my professional purpose, and that is to help you, the broker advisor, optimize your productivity and help you become the best version of yourself. Why? Because happy broker advisors sell more real estate. I do that by helping you handle challenges and opportunities that you face every single day. If you can effectively manage certain situations that arise on a daily basis in your business, you will be more productive and live a life that is the best version of you. That's really what I want for you. My ask is that you listen to this call, you listen to this episode as if you are in a one-on-one coaching session with me in my office. That's really why I started doing these calls, is to scale my impact. And on my 197th episode of my Monday Morning Pep Talk today, we'll dive deeper into building out your CRM, which of course is your database. On last week's episode, yes, you need a CRM. The case that for you to run a business, a CRM is non-negotiable. And today I'll take you through the steps on how to professionally build out and optimize it. Okay. So let me just say that just because you have thousands of names in an email list or on your phone does not mean that you have a CRM. A large list does little to the overall success of your business. Okay. It's a starting point, but having thousands of people on a list with few quality relationships is not going to get you to your goals and to your vision. There are several steps that you'll need to take to do the basic filtering method. Okay. And we'll discuss those today. And I'm going to start with step number one, of course. And that is, let's take that list of names. All right. Your email list, your spreadsheets, your contacts, and your phones. And let's start a process of breaking them down into 5 lists. Okay. And those are going to be your top 100, your hot list, your warm list, your top 100 for referral partners, both locally and nationally. And then the last list is your collaborative brokers in your local market, which you need to make sure you're staying in touch with, because with tight inventory and things like that, you need to be, it's real important to be collaborative in your local market. To start, let's just take those 5 lists and let's use those to build out a spreadsheet to use as a guide. Okay. I want you to create 5 tabs at the bottom, one for each of the above: your top 100, your hot list, your warm list, your top 100 for referral partners, both locally and nationally, and your collaborative brokers in your local market. The spreadsheet will just help you organize. It's just a starting point. So you can go through and as you're going through that list of all of your lists, you need to put them somewhere in one spot so you can use that to build out your CRM. If you've already done all of this, and many of you have, you can skip this step. Number 2, we want to create your hot list. Okay. Why are we starting there over your top 100? Because these are the people that are ready to buy right now, right? This is the list of clients that want to buy or sell with you in the next 90 days as defined by Ninja Selling. Okay. You should have this list in front of you every single day. Now, on the email that I'm going to send out tomorrow to support this episode, I'm going to provide you a link to a blog post that Ninja Selling put out there on how to more specifically manage your hot list daily as a part of the Ninja 9. Okay. But the key here is you've got to have a list in front of you of all those people that want to buy or sell in the next 90 days. I know one of the agents I work with that literally has that list on a clipboard in the front seat of his car. It is in front of him at all times. Okay. You need to be looking at it every single day and comparing to the needs of that client to what is available on the market. Okay. Hitting that hot list every single day, seeing what new stuff comes up and checking to see if there's anything on that hot list that matches the needs of those people on your like I said, on your hot list. Okay. So step 3, create your warm list. Super important. This is the list of people that know that they want to buy or sell, or they may not even know that they want to buy or sell, right? They're sitting there in a situation where it's like, boy, that would be a really good situation. Our we've got a second baby on the way, and we're not even sure what we're going to need, but we do probably want to buy or sell. Okay, so there's going to be that group, and then there's going to be the people that most likely want to buy it or sell. And this is all going to be those people in the next 12 months as defined by Ninja Selling. Okay. I really like how they use their definitions of warm list and hot list. Okay. So my feeling is that those brokers that have the best managed warm list will win in this market. Will win in any market for that matter. But very few brokers, advisors, very few spend enough time in the warm list. This is building up your list of people that want to buy over the next 12 months. Super, super important. Okay. So we want to have those two lists put together because those are the people that are active or relatively active right now. So that's your hot list and your warm list. You can probably create that in an afternoon. All right. Now it gets a little bit more difficult as we go through and start to build out your top 100 as your step 4. Okay, your top 100 are those clients or contacts that know you, like you, and trust you as their real estate broker advisor. Okay, they're the ones that if you walk into a grocery store, they will greet you, and the interaction will be such that that's the relationship. They know you as their real estate broker. Okay, take your top 100 and start to break it down into the following categories. Okay, we're going to break these down into your platinum clients. These are the people that refer you multiple times a year or consistently do business with you, like a developer or investor. They've definitely done business with you as well. They are the top 20% of your top 100. This is the group of people that if you started a business, you would go immediately to these people. Okay. I made a point to touch these clients about every 21 days. All right. You need to review that relationship every 21 days. 80% of your business will most likely come from this group of clients. Now, when you go through this list, one thing I hear a lot from people is that they're like, Jim, I've only got 6 or 7 or 8. Okay, that's fine. But guess what? That's part of the process here. It's the part of the process here is building out that platinums. Imagine getting your platinum group to 20 people. You'll never have to prospect again. You focus on that one thing. Okay. Your gold clients. This is that next category. These are the people that refer you occasionally or have done business with you randomly over the life of your career, and they introduce you occasionally. They are that next 30% down in your top 100. Now, I made a point to touch these clients every 30 days or review that relationship and see if it's time for me to reach out. They are very important. This platinum and gold, like I said last week in that episode, when I got into leadership, I was required, or I had promised that I would pare down my top group of clients, and I took that 137 and broke it down into 68. Well, the 68 were my platinum and gold clients. And by putting my time and effort into these two categories, my business actually did better after that point. Okay. Next section is your silver clients. These are prospects, past clients that have the potential to refer. They do consistent or inconsistent business with you, or maybe just once. They're not overly responsive to your emails or your reach outs or your invitations to client events. They're that next bottom 50% down. Okay. And so I would try to review this group about every 45 days. All right. I try to touch this group about every 45 days. Next is your fringe clients. These are basically everybody else. These contacts should remain on your low-cost marketing campaigns like email marketing, direct mail marketing, social media, etc. You should develop an email marketing campaign segmented and content delivered every 2 to 3 weeks to your entire list. Okay. This group should also be, like we said, we should be connected with them via social media and kind of following along to see if they're paying any attention to your posts, etc. Now, there's an interesting relationship between silver clients and fringe clients. Okay. Once you build that top 100, number one, if you get a new client that jumps out of the fringe, and I had a couple of years ago, we had an agent or a broker at Jameson Sotheby's that had been marketing to somebody for 4 years. They had not responded to anything. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they called and said, "Hey, come list our house." And between the buy and the sell, this agent did about $4 million worth of business. And that person all of a sudden jumped out of that fringe category up into the gold category. Okay. So want to continue to market to the fringe. Now that number 100 on the list, you're going to be moving that person around into fringe as you get new prospects, et cetera, in and out of your business. But that's the relationship between silver and fringe. You'll have silvers that will drop down into fringe as new people enter your business, as you make new connections, you get introductions from your client. So you might, when you get to the end of this process, the platinum, gold, and silver, and you build out your top 100, and then everybody else is the fringe, you're going to find that you may have way less people than you thought you did. And that's okay. I took one broker advisor through this process. They had thousands of people on their email list. And when they got done breaking it down, they only had 37. But when they started focusing on that 37, guess what? Just 1 year later, they were doing 2x the GCI, just focusing on those 35 people and building out the 100 instead of focusing all their efforts consistently across thousands of people. So that 35 with high level of focus ended up 2xing their commissions earned just 1 year later by focusing on going from thousands of people to 35. So don't be discouraged if you get through this process and you only see that you got 35 or 40. Your career then should be focused on, how do I get this to 100? Okay, how do I get this to 100? That should be the goal. Okay, so throughout this, I'm going to also add some content from one of the Monday Morning Pep Talks I did almost 2 years ago, and it's called, "Is Your Database Your Most Important Financial Asset?" Now, this was like my 114th Monday Morning Pep Talk from July 26th of 2021, but we're going to put that on the email so you guys can go back and dig into it. All right. So step number 5 is we're going to do the same thing with our referral partners, both locally and nationally, that we did with our clients. We're going to build out a top 100 for referral partners, like I said, both locally and nationally. All right. So that's an important one, especially for those of us within Sotheby's International Realty that realize the importance of those relationships around the country. Many of you have a significant amount of your business that comes from that group, especially if you're in a second home market. So you want to market to them in a very, very similar way. You want to put more time and effort into less people. Okay. Now, most of you have gone through this 5-step process at some point. All right. If you haven't, this has got to be put at the top of your list if you've not gone through this process. All right. This should be put to the top of the list of what you're going to do in your next quarterly initiative as we relate it back to the 12-week year business planning strategy. If you've already gone through this process, it may be time for you to go back through and look at all the people in your top 100 in all of your lists and start doing some pruning. I use the word pruning because when you prune trees in an orchard, or you clean things back, this is where you go through and you move people around, almost like if you're playing on a chessboard. You're going through and saying, hey, is this person categorized correctly? And really, this should be done. I did it once a week. And some weeks I didn't move anybody around. Other weeks I'd move 3 or 4 people around. But I always made sure that all of my database was updated. My active pipe, my email marketing, et cetera, was all updated. So this may be a process that you want to do immediately. It's go back through and prune your CRM, make sure everybody is categorized and segmented properly. Super, super important. Okay. Like I said, somewhere in this, unless you feel like very, very comfortable with where you are in this process, you should add this to your next quarterly initiative. Now, if you've not gone through this, let me ask you this. Would you celebrate if that by the end of next quarter, you have broken down all of your names into the following 5 lists, identified the beginnings of your top 100, and have finally implemented a CRM into your business? Would you celebrate? My guess is that you would give me a hell yes on that, right? I would get a hell yes for sure. After this week, after you've gone through this 5-step process, there is another level that we're going to talk about next week, and this is a little bit more of an advanced stage of CRM construction, and we're going to talk about tagging. All right, within this top 100, within your lists, there's going to be more specific characteristics of each client and contact, and that's important that we get into tagging. Do that yesterday. All of the top CRMs have the ability to do that. You have the ability to do that in ActivePipe on your email marketing platform. So we'll talk about that next week. The whole goal here with tagging and having your CRM is that we want to create the most meaningful relationship message to the right people at the right time. Let me say that again. The goal is to create the most meaningful relationship message to the right people at the right time. This episode that you listened to today is foundational, and it's going to go on that playlist that I told you about last week that will be on my website, askjimmiller.com, under the course. And it's really important. It's one of these that is kind of a can't miss, and you may go back to it over and over and over again for sure. It's that important. My email is going to go out tomorrow, as you know, with all of this content and all of the recordings, etc. And got a little bit of a surprise too for you as a product that I put on there for tomorrow. So anyway, another point here is if you have not taken a Ninja installation recently, I highly, highly recommend that you do that, because they do a wonderful job of going really, really deep into how to manage your CRM, the relationships, etc. And I'm going to be posting within the emails that I send out a lot of their content. Give them credit for that. So anyway, team, thank you so much for jumping on the call today and on this holiday, Juneteenth here in June. And I appreciate you guys jumping on and allowing me to present to you today. And we'll get this email out to you tomorrow with the recording, etc. Okay? Have an awesome, awesome day. Goodbye.